injury? That
Yeah,
sucks.
she cut really deep on her hand and had to get stitches. And
Ooh.
yeah, I was like, don't push yourself to play. I can talk to him. So
Yeah, no, it's no
thank you
problem
for
at all.
being able.
Of
That's
course.
wonderful.
Of course, it was nice of you to do that for your friend. So, yeah, it's not a problem at all. Okay, so let me get this pulled up here really fast. So, what I'll do is I'll have this recorded and I'll have this sent to you in a couple of days, probably by Monday,
Awesome.
so you can go back and watch it again. So, okay.
Okay,
What got you
fantastic.
interested in coaching?
So I was actually the silver bastion in your DPS guide.
Oh, that's
um,
right.
yeah, and I've always been interested in watching people get coached. I actually
Yeah.
even like try and help my duo out because she's lower ranked in support than I am.
Right.
And so I was like, I have no one to actually tell me if I'm like if I suck, right? Like, what am I
Right.
doing wrong? I have no real idea. It's kind of like I solo queue as support, so I was like, I want to have someone tell me what I'm doing wrong, and then it really like solidified when you actually like watched my Bastion review and kind of like obviously it wasn't like for me, it wasn't
You were the new
specialized
Queen
to
Street,
me.
right?
I was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. You were
Um,
actually pretty good, if I remember correctly. I
Thank
was actually
you.
surprised you were silver, if I remember
Thank
correctly.
you. Yeah, I was silver 4, and I obviously I haven't played a ton this season because of holidays and work and everything.
Right.
But I actually went up to silver 3, so I am
Okay.
slightly moving up. So
Sure.
it was great. It was really good, and I was like, yeah, okay, I got to do coaching, and then I showed my friend too, and I was like, hey, do you want coaching? I'll buy you coaching. So I'm on the coach train now. It's
All right. Well, good.
official.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. But we're looking at diamond support today.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I am diamond support. I don't necessarily think that I should be, and I'm not saying that in like a tear myself down sort of way.
Right.
I think I kind of fell up into it, and I don't mind if I fall out of it. I just kind of want to know, like, what can I do? What's my weaknesses? How can I improve? Because I'm not necessarily playing like for a specific rank. I play to have fun, but I do like want to play correctly and
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now, how long you been playing Overwatch?
since the week that the Nano Cola Diva ended in 2018, that is when I started playing. I have about 2,000 hours, so I've played a lot of Overwatch.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. And primarily support.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Primarily not comp too, but I've recently gotten more into comp. So,
Why?
um, just kind of a more serious place to practice. I felt I can get away with a lot in quick play that I know is just the most brain dead, like
Right.
hold mouse one, do whatever, turn your brain off sort of thing. So I kind of wanted the challenge of actually having practice in a place where people are supposed to mean it. So that's
Yeah.
why.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then I guess why specifically? I mean, it seems like you play a little bit of everything with support, but
I do.
what are you getting coached on today?
It's mostly going to be Kiriko. I had a game that I felt was really messy and ugly. We won, and I think the only reason we won was because the enemy team's mentality shattered before ours did. And there's a lot of like jelly brained mistakes that I make in the game. And I've been playing a lot more of her because I have a lot more hours in Mercy. I play a lot of Mercy. But I just feel like lately she hasn't been super viable unless you have like a very specific person on your team comp, especially with Malga. So I was like, I want to get into Kiriko more. I have like 400 hours on Mercy and I have like 30 on Kiriko. So I was like, okay, I want to switch it up. So I have this one of Kiriko. I do have one that is a quick play of Mercy if we have time at the end that we can just like breeze through if we want to, but it's mostly Kiriko today.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. And so you're basically embracing the playmaking side of you.
Yeah, yeah. I like the creativity that you can bring with Mercy, and I think you can do that with Kiriko in a more direct way.
Yeah.
Not to like dumpster on the impact that Mercy has, obviously, but she's more of a like enabler of her team, whereas with Kiriko, it's like you enable yourself. So the game that I have, I was like, I want to focus on having off angles because I know like if you're playing Kiriko and you're not doing off angles, why are you playing Kiriko?
Right.
So you will see me hesitate a lot in the game because I don't know why. Usually I'm like, let's just do it and try. What's the worst that happens? I die and I go to spawn and I throw the fight. Okay, I've learned, right? But you'll see me hesitate a lot in this, and I think it's because I was actively thinking about like trying to put myself in positions. So it's definitely a doozy of a game for me. I felt like it wasn't a diamond game. I was like, there's no way this game is above plat. I've played through plat. There's just no shot. So it's messy for sure.
Well, the hesitation is normal, at least, right?
Yeah,
Like, that's not something to be ashamed of, because you're think, like you said, you're thinking your way through some of
Right.
these decisions, so it's going to be a little
Right.
slower, right?
Right.
Okay. What do you hope to get out of the session? Have more discipline. Have more discipline. Odd question
Yeah.
or odd answer. What do you mean by that?
I feel like I don't know if it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing and a good thing. I love just like pushing myself to see what I can get away with, which I think
Yep.
is good. I think that's how I got through to where I am, is like that idea of what's the worst that could happen? I lose the game, like boohoo.
Right.
So I think just more, I need to have more discipline on what I'm actually working on, like having myself have the flexibility, but also be like, no, we're working on this right now. That sort of thing. If that
Sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. Kind of treat it more like with more quality education,
Right.
not just
Yeah,
kind of like
exactly.
throwing yourself at a game.
Right, exactly.
Okay, makes sense. Open my eyes to mistakes or changes I need to make that I'm not seeing myself. Learn my weaknesses. Okay. We talked about Hero Pool already. Play about 8 to 9 hours each weekend. So it's primarily weekend play then?
Yes, I work and
Yep.
so I also am on the West Coast, so I don't
Yep.
like want to play super late into the night, where East Coast people might be playing. They're wild at night. So I was like, okay, weekends it is. And then obviously lately I've been with my duo, and because her rank is lower than mine, I haven't been playing a ton of support. I've been playing mostly DPS.
Okay.
So I've been trying to get more back into support. I've done not a lot of games this season, but trying to sort of get more back into the solo queue as well.
Okay. I mean, obviously, consistency of playtime is really important.
Right.
If you're only able to play a little bit on each weekend, then at least try to play a couple games each day would be really important.
Okay.
On Kiriko, trying to get those reps in.
Okay.
Just to make sure that you're like, at least, hey, I have, 10 games per weekend. Where I'm able to like actually hard grind. I think it's not optimal to improve like that, but it is possible to improve like that. And I think you could still find, like, I'm constantly amazed. I think every single week I hear another story about how so-and-so hit this rank, or I was able to improve to this by playing this much. I'm like, wait, you played how much? Right. Where, so, I do think it is possible. It's just be aware of it. Goals, get better at the game. No real rank goal, better understanding myself, my role, bigger impact in games. Happy to admit my flaws and mistakes. Solo queue in a support role. I don't know anyone to objectively look at my gameplay and tell me what I'm doing incorrect or needs to change. Okay. What do you feel holding you back? Definitely mechanics for sure. Obviously 400 hours of Mercy, right?
Yes. I am obviously a Mercy main, so I struggle with mechanics. I am a pistol Mercy, so it's not like not that heavy, but this is my first FPS game.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Rough. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. I feel like I fell upwards in a diamond, so imposter syndrome. I mean, I can look at your gameplay and try and give you an accurate reading as best as I possibly can. It's not something I'm amazing at, but I could at least give you my impression.
Totally. Yeah. I was gold. Well, I only did placements in Overwatch 1. And then I was gold. I finally made it to gold just through like the 5 placements every season in Overwatch 1 by Overwatch 2. And then they had we're moving everyone around to actually fit the rank that they're actually aligned to. And then I got boosted up to platinum, and I was like, there's no shot. And then I just kind of like kept ranking up through platinum, and I was like, this is
What's
broken.
your win rate on Kiriko? This season and last season, if you could check.
This season, it's 100%. It's been a lot of easy games this season for some reason. Last season, gosh, where is she? I did not play her last season.
Interesting.
Was
the season where you ranked up? Was it the season before or season before that? Oh gosh,
it was. God, let me look. Season 4. That was plat. It was season 6, and I played her. I had a 63% win rate on her.
I mean,
in season 6.
How many hours?
Total. I think it was like 6. It was not that much. Realistically, it was very low.
Okay. But that's where you hit diamond, and that's kind of where you've stayed since then. Okay.
Right.
I mean, obviously, like you haven't played a lot since then, but 6 hours, 63% win rate. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, at the very least, you got lucky,
Okay.
right?
Right. Yeah. I
'Cause-
was like the luck of the century if it's not that. But.
right. So something. I mean, that's not unusual, right? To be winning games and then ranking up with a 63% win rate over 6 hours. But okay. Let's keep going here. A little bit of understanding as well. I have small understanding of the game. I can tell what I've made egregiously bad plays, but the small plays I can go over my head. Okay. 9+ hours of sleep. You freak of nature. I'm jealous.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I listen. I'm good for you. Legit good for you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
I will not. I value it.
All right. Let's take a look at some gameplay here.
Let me send that code.
Got it?
Yes.
Let's do it.
But you will genuinely see moments where you're like, is your brain made of jello? Are you so stupid? And like,
can I say that?
Moment,
am I allowed to say that?
You can say whatever you want.
Wait, so is your brain made of jello? Are you so stupid?
Are you so stupid? Yeah.
Okay, I gotta make sure I remember that.
And I know when you'll say it too, because I said it to myself when I did it. And I was like, someone's going to watch this and go, this is not even a plat player. I'm reporting you. I was like, there's no shot.
Okay. But specifically, is your brain made of jello? Are you so stupid? I really got to make sure I get the flow right.
Remember it.
Yeah, I got it. I will. I'll do my best.
So this was the game that I was trying to focus on creating pressure with angles.
Gotcha. Just gotta kind of let it roll for a little bit because you seem like you kind of have an idea of like what you ought to be doing, or what you and also what you were trying to be doing. So let's just see if you do it, and when and where maybe some missed opportunities. So like I think here is it's like this is something I always say with the Kiriko players. It's like generally I like focus on the positioning before you worry about the pressure.
Okay.
So like right now you're like I'm doing pressure, yeah, right. But like you're shooting a Ryan.
I wasn't realistically doing anything.
Right. Like there's a chance you get a kill here. Like you were aiming for the Ash earlier, but like now it actually feels like you have space to actually do something, right? And your first choice is to stand here. I think that you need to invest your time into moving.
Okay, like top left maybe?
Yeah, maybe top left. Okay. I actually think this is probably a good angle as well.
Okay.
This is a good angle to consider as well. Just kind of like think about it like, okay, where can I like actually output pressure right now? Because like right now it's just like you kind of run it down main. People do this with Kiriko. They're like, oh, I need to be more aggressive with Kiriko. I'm gonna start doing more damage. But like I don't think it's about doing more damage. It's about taking better positions where you can actually like threaten kills, At this point in time, it's like the fight's already lost by the time you actually got there.
I was like, maybe I can get a pick or something.
Yeah.
So it was either get a pick and regroup.
Yeah, I mean, it was smart. It was smart. It was the right thing to do.
Okay.
You got space again. What are you going to do with it, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of heal. That's fine. Suzu's fine as well.
I tried bouncing it off. It did not hit him.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
On the front of the payload.
It's fine. You tried. But this is, again, like where like the timer's kind of ticking here. Because the way to think about it is this. Is like you don't have a lot of healing for your Malga.
Right.
So you do need to go make plays, but you need to do it quickly because he's on a timer.
Okay. So basically, I just make sure he's good, and then I'm like, okay, left side door.
Exactly. And or even think about like a +1, right? Like I'm a big fan of the +1s with Kiriko, right? Where like you talk about top left. Top left is not amazing because it's a bit of an awkward angle, but if you see somebody else up there, if it's a +1, this becomes a little bit more attractive, right? So even that becomes more attractive, right? Because now that look at him, he dies. He just freaking died to a body shot, right?
I don't know why I didn't do that. I must have thought, I play a lot of Mercy, so I'm like, why would a Mercy go with a Hanzo? I probably assumed she was with Soldier, but
right. I don't know what she's been doing, to be honest with you, either. But again, do you notice that like every little bit of offensive pressure that you've been having has been very direct, which means it's very risky. Very risky, and it's also not splitting their attention. You need to split their attention, right? You pull attention this way, that's much more valuable for your tank and the choke, and while still giving you an easier escape route.
Okay. Yeah, down mid's not ideal.
Case in point, right? Like you have to turn your back to threats. When you're on an angle, you never, ever, ever have to turn your back to a threat.
Okay, yeah.
I really think that's yeah, exactly. I really think this is all there is to say so far.
Okay.
Like you are trying to put out pressure. You can see it. It's just not positioned well.
Okay. Yeah, this was this was a very confusing fight.
Good. At least we're off the floor now. Oh my days, we got
They
rolled.
all disintegrated, and then
Yeah,
this
this
guy
is
engaged, and I was like, oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, probably worth it. Probably worth it. It was definitely a risk there. Wah! Not even close. Didn't even sweat for a moment. I never doubted.
You're better than me. I was like, no, I can't let a Mercy kill me. I can't. That's my job on Mercy. I was sweating.
Is your brain made of jello? Are you stupid? Wait, shoot, no, I didn't get the last one right.
That is right. You're right. Are you so stupid? Yeah.
Are you so stupid? Yes, yeah, I didn't quite get it. Yes, I knew I forgot something. But this is what I'm talking about, right? Right? This is where the position this is the position, right? This is the position. This position makes more sense. You're splitting attention. You have an easy escape route. You're not turning your back on any threats. And you're also making it really hard for this Mercy because the Mercy's hiding from Malga and Ana, but ends up walking directly into you. That's why angles matter, right? This is exactly where you needed to have been, the equivalent of in the previous fights. And obviously it works. So
I was a little nervous because I realized after the fact because I rewatched my games after. And I was like, I didn't look over at my team once. And I was like, I don't know if I should have been
You don't need to if you're doing good damage.
Okay.
Because because that Ashe and Hanzo has spent the last 6 seconds looking at you.
Okay.
And then obviously they don't have damage boost anymore for obvious reasons.
Right.
So then you don't
team is able to,
right. So your team is under like literally a fraction of the pressure that they would be if you were with them. Literally less than half because of the double DPS looking at you. So no, you're totally good.
Down for that.
This is definitely one of those extremes where it's like nobody took an angle with you. You're all the way on a hard flank, but you know what? There's immense pressure to be found from that, and you just single-handedly won your team that fight.
Oh, okay. I feel like Kiriko does have the ability to be like a Widowmaker pressure, where it's like even if you're not hitting shots, you can just hold an angle with 1,000, hit one lucky headshot, and then everyone's like, "Oh shit! Like they're over there. We have to be really
100%, 100%. And well, that hurt. That's what killed the Mercy, right? She forgot. She didn't know you were there for like 1 second, and she dies. So, say what you will, whether that's a healthy playstyle or not. For the game, it's exactly how the character gets value. So it was good. You did a good job.
Okay.
You carried the fight. See, even here, you could. There's no reason for you not to be up here. Now, if they push out, like this Ryan gets up in here, you're going to have to drop. But if he doesn't, you're at least starting there, right?
Yeah.
So he dropped, right? So you go up here and you take the angle. Start on the high ground, start on the off angle, and then go. Because again, it's like because you see your brain. This is what your brain thinks is pressure.
Right.
It's with my tank pushed up doing DPS, which is like fine. It's better than just heal botting, right? Like you're getting a good mixture of heal botting and putting out pressure.
Yeah.
But it's not utilizing your mobility the best you can. Like,
it's just aggressive.
It's right. It's basically taking what it is. Here's what it is. It's taking one of your abilities and pretending it doesn't exist.
Okay. Yeah.
Your teleport.
Yeah, I think my brain is like, it's so valuable. I don't want to just use it. But that's what it's there for, so I should
exactly. That's what it's there for. And if you're not utilizing it, then you're leaving an entire aspect of your kit. Because this is
I should have been with this guy. Yeah.
Right, exactly. This is criminal. This is actually criminal. Because this flank from your Reaper is super nice. You could be here with 0 risk, and then the Reaper ends up dropping, and then loses the 1v1, and it's like, ugh. Like that Hanzo should be dead. Your Reaper should be holding the angle that he wants. Now, thankfully, he's Reaper, so he can go back and shoot tank, but that still hurts. Good try with the Susu. But again, but you're right. And do you notice as well that like as these fights evolve, ultimates cut you off from the action?
Yeah.
Right? So like what are you supposed to do? Your only option here is to teleport in, which is unbelievably risky,
really
right?
Dangerous.
You have no idea where they are, so it's like it feels terrible. Okay, that's definitely a brain jello moment. Let's enjoy these shots here. Oh man, these stupid bobs, man. Freaking hate that.
Like,
that hitbox is so hard to hit.
Like hitbox now, it's so embarrassing. So in this situation, so after watching it a few times, I was like, should I go to the left? Because I'm like, well, we've killed a few people. I don't know if that's really valuable, or do I just kind of like stay in the flow in mid where I am? Because obviously,
it's too late. It's too late to fix it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too late. Like if at that point you just have to get main
Okay.
value, right?
Okay.
Kill the Bob, and then at some point find a way to open up an angle as quickly as you possibly
Okay.
can. But it really,
Okay.
yeah, it's too late.
Okay. Damn.
Sometimes it's okay if you teleport in, if you think that you can to like kind of make up for your bad. Like for example, right now you're like, oh, I took too long to set up. Maybe I can teleport in safely.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's okay.
But that is that. I was associating pressure with aggression only
Right.
in this scenario,
right.
so I was like,
just
let's go.
push W aggression, right? Do
Right,
damage
right.
aggression, not in terms of and like Kiriko is an artist,
Not good.
right?
Yeah.
She's not a brute, right? So in terms
Right.
of the aggression is a lot more devious. It's a lot more creative. It's a lot more indirect in terms of how you take angles, and it's not just running it down their throats.
Yeah. This is stupid. I don't know what this guy was doing. He was just Sonic standing there, but whatever.
Okay. Now, this is where things get awkward.
You will see me hesitate a lot here.
Because you have, the angles are tricky here, and you also have your ultimate, all right? So
Right.
hear me out. Wait for your team, obviously. Drop your ult on main, then go hard flank.
Oh, okay.
Because you're thinking, oh, I'm not using my ultimate. But you are using your ultimate because you're utilizing the chaos that it's doing. Right? So these angles will be even easier than they normally would be because your team is actually ramming it down their throats. Right? You could also take an angle and solo ult on the angle itself as well. That's probably not very good here because it's really congested, but there will be many times where you like solo ult on an off angle or 2v1 on an off angle with an ultimate. You don't always have to ult on main. But yeah.
Yeah, I did not know what to do here.
Yeah, I mean, just drop the ult and run, or just flank. This is but you need to be decisive here. Like this is the problem. Like it's like you could just go here and go now. This is fine. Just go.
Okay.
Done. Knowing. Huh. But yeah, this is like one of those fights where it's like
we got lucky. Yeah.
I mean, this guy needs help. I mean, imagine if you're here, right? Like one Suzu, and this is a 4K,
Right.
or a 3K rather, and like you're able to be here, like you're all playing Tickle Me Elmo on main here, and it's like this is just you literally did nothing there. You literally did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know why their team backed up.
So far, I'm not seeing many brain jello moments, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's just okay. It's just a bad execution of you trying to put out pressure. That's all.
Okay.
But it's not even stupid. It's logical. It's just you haven't quite evolved your understanding enough. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it makes total sense. This is like how somebody that's watched like RuPaul or Ultraviolet or someone popping off in Kiriko trying to replicate it, but not fully understanding exactly how to do it. Right.
Okay.
It's still fine Kiriko play. Like this is diamond.
Oh. Okay.
This is diamond. This is diamond play.
Okay. This is stupid.
Diamond is stupid. Here. So yeah.
True.
There's the nano. Now's your time to go. You go right now.
Yeah.
Because it's perfectly timed. You know your Malgo's going to go in. You know he doesn't need as much support. You have your abilities. Go. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, nano.
It's just like half a second slow,
I know. It's too many seconds. It ruins the play. Like I think I'm the reason we lost this.
I think 100%. So too. I think so too. The major issue here is that I don't think you knew the Hanzo was there.
I did not.
Right.
He jump scared me. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Like if you're faster there, you Suzu, you go back, grab Mini, and he 100% dies. Like I think you have an advantage in that duel. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah. At least you took the play, right? You took the angle.
Right.
It was good.
Yeah, I suppose. It was just wasted seconds. If I'd done it earlier.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't have been so useless.
And obviously, taking angles and taking flanks and taking 1v1s is going to require like a heightened sense of awareness as well. So not being aware of the Hanzo, that's like inexcusable, right? Like but that will get better with time, right? The more that you take those 1v1s, you're going to be listening, you're going to be paying attention. Like right now, like this is like freaking James Bond going on right now, right? Like you know that you want to push this angle, but you know that Cassie knows. And so this is where like you're going to get really freaking good at like braining these situations, right? You might even go, okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do? A wall climb up here sit here and sneak up on him this way, right?
Yeah, 'cause
or
he
maybe you
expects
go
me
right.
down
Maybe
below.
you're like, I can't do this here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna +1 with my Hanzo, and I can't because he's
Okay.
marking me, and I'm having
Yeah.
to go like uphill, right? So it feels terrible.
Right.
So instead, I'm gonna take a different angle and take an angle like this right here, which is really
Yeah.
busted, right? 'Cause
That's
where,
so smart.
right. But it's not something that you could not have come up with yourself. You just had to
Sure.
you just had to think about it a little bit.
Right. It's not something I'd considered. And that's why I didn't go up that side route, because I was like, I can't do the cash out.
I agree.
You know.
I agree. I don't think you
Okay.
can either. I think it's way too hard. I mean, you would have required an ultimate on main for that to work.
Okay.
Some
Yep.
sort of a distraction, right? So, but yeah,
Way better. Which they're in my rank too.
nice shots. That's the exception to the rule. That almost will never happen
Right.
from your current
Their
position.
head poking out.
Right. That will almost never happen. Actually, not hitting the shot, but actually finishing the kill, almost never happens.
Would you? I mean, obviously, would we recommend being up top or to the side?
Yeah, I mean the same thing we
So,
just
like,
talked about.
It's just
Yeah,
so much smarter.
100%. Right.
Why am I being shattered? That's so stupid of me.
Right. Well, it's not the first time. You know.
Certainly not.
You're consistent.
Not
Like
the last
at this point, it's like we don't have to be like angry and upset anymore. Like, oh, I should be taking angles.
Right.
We'd say you're consistent. You're consistently misunderstanding the situation. So I mean, yeah, it makes
At
sense.
least-
Just
It's focusable.
right. Exactly. It's a very difficult skill to build, but it's
Okay, yeah.
it's really the biggest thing by far. Good ult. Not really an angle you could be taking here, but even here, like think about taking like a soft angle. Think about like swinging off this direction, right, or swinging off this direction, right? Just split yourself from main just a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't have a fear here because I was like, who's going to be looking at me farther behind the payload than anyone else in this scenario where we're this close? Like, they're going to be looking at anyone but me. But I could get more aggressive with that, like, straight down.
Right. It's the
Angle
finesse. It's the finesse that we talked about, right? That you're lacking, right? You're all on the pressure chain, but you're just completely lacking the finesse.
Yeah.
See, like this is ironically like the least trolly thing that you've done. One of the least trolly things you've done because it's on an angle, right? Like, oh no, I'm getting
That'll
pressured.
change.
I have to Suzu. Now you can't stay here anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you
I can't.
I mean, yeah, you definitely can't stay
shouldn't.
here now.
I think my brain. So you can like. You can say it. You can say it. It's the worst thing I've ever done.
I'm just gonna let the awkward silence stew a little bit. Is your brain made of jello? Are you are you so stupid?
Yes, I am. Oh my god.
Like they earned this angle,
absolutely.
you know? The Ana's sitting there pocketing the Bastion. It's fine. Give it up. Give it up. Go back to your team. Take an angle elsewhere. Go sit on the angle over here. The difference between you and them is that there was a serious risk of this Bastion dying. In fact, you should have died if you'd hit your shots, right?
I know. Yeah.
But there's not really a serious risk. You hide behind a corner, you just teleport out, right? That's all there is to it. The only risk is through your own hubris.
Right.
That's the difference between either. Like if they want to commit 3 resources or 2 resources, whatever, here, fine. You can have the angle. I'll go find a different angle, right? Meanwhile, your team is like just smoking, blunts on main and just like totally relaxed under no pressure because you pulled the attention elsewhere.
I think I was so surprised. I was like, I pinged them. I was like, hey, Bastion Ana over here. I've got really low. They're putting a lot of resources into wanting this flank area. And so I was like, hey. And so I was like, there's no way they're all just backing off. Like, we can easily pick these guys. And then
but if you look at it, it's like,
oh, we can do this.
What is your Reaper supposed to do?
Yeah, Reaper, I was like, no way. But I was like, Hanzo, Ana? No, they're invested in our tank who's just kind of standing
But
out
even
mid.
Hanzo, he hits a shot and then the Bastion ducks behind cover and then he gets healed and then he ducks behind cover. And so the Hanzo's like constantly having to play like jiggle back and forth, right? So it's like they're kind of in a position where it's hard for them to actually be pushed, right? But then but they really also can't push you because if they walk out to here, they're dead. It's over. They will die. So this is just like, if you get pushed out of an angle, let them have it,
Okay. I think
again, finesse, right? Don't brute force it, right?
Yeah, I want to hold on to those valuable, like, map control sort of situation.
Right, but at that point, it's like, okay, it's too risky, and they're putting a lot of resources here. I could just give it up and go elsewhere.
Okay.
That's the luxury of mobility. anytime you lose, you don't play fair.
Yeah.
You just walk away. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of more of the same where it's like pressure on main, and then you end up teleporting out and you're stuck. You notice again, we can always tell when you're pressuring on main when you get shot in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those 2 fights, I was like, I think I was the reason that we lost the first point.
I got a secret. I agree.
I was like, this is when I was like, I'm not even in plat, man. Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
who plays like this?
That's the emotion of I did something really stupid.
Yeah.
But everybody does something really stupid. Overwatch League players make really stupid decisions sometimes. Higher ranked players make more good decisions though, and you've made more good decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's just like occasionally like your brain's just gonna completely shut off. Like that happens in every rank. And again, I want to point out that it's funny because it's not just like, oh, stupid, I shouldn't have used that ability or I shouldn't have teleported in, or it's the same thing where it's like you really want to put out pressure directly and you refuse to put the kid gloves on.
And I die for it. Yeah.
And you die for it twice. Like both of the deaths there were the same type of stupid mistake.
Yeah.
So of course.
As many hours of Mercy that I have where you're like, all of your importance comes from staying alive. I need to apply that.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
it's just about, well, not purposeful, not with the intention of staying alive more. It's with the intention of playing better angles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Able to actually be there, put that pressure out.
Exactly. I definitely see the pistol Mercy in this gameplay. I see where that comes from because it's like that. You could hold me at gunpoint, and I never would have guessed that you were a Mercy main.
I think it's the mobility. That's why I love it.
Yeah, mobility is fun. Mobility is fun.
And Kiriko has that too.
No comment on this position.
Angle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're and again, like this just makes me weep. You've got both DPS on an angle. I mean, look at the angle that you have here, right? Look at the support that you could be doing, and you get shattered again.
I do, and I actually eat a nano for it. No, like thank you to the Ana. She literally, I think, saved me.
Oh yeah.
By saving this fight.
Yeah.
But I had to eat a nano. Also, no, Ash won us this fight. Let's be very clear. Yeah. He was on vacation.
Sorry. You're consistent. You're consistent, right? We talked about it.
Yeah.
Good. This is finesse. Nice.
I do. Is it okay? Like, I feel like on Kiriko, she can hold lower ground pretty well. And this is the same area where I'm like, oh, I can just see head hitboxes. This isn't okay. Would it be better to be high ground though? I just feel like I miss way more shots when I'm on high ground. So I don't understand.
Good question. I would say always have the option to go high ground because it's hard to push you out of high ground, right? Which you do.
Yeah.
If you want to take the low ground here, just for the ease of lining up kunai, fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm fine with it because you could always just go take high ground immediately afterwards. Like high ground gives you floor for cover, which you don't really need because you already have floor for cover with this bridge, right? It gives you a little bit better vision, which you don't need because you already see them. And then it gives you specifically an escape route because it's easy to get to the floor. It is hard to get to the high ground, but you don't need that because if you get in trouble as they walk across, then you'll go up the bridge.
Yeah,
right?
I can climb. Yeah.
So this is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, high ground is good, but there are reasons why high ground is good. If those reasons are not relevant to you, then you don't need to worry about it.
I was just so mad that none of those were hitting him.
Yeah, that you kind of got scammed, honestly. I thought they were gonna hit.
This is kind of they fall apart here. I think they were smack talking each other. I think they had a chance. And they just kind of just folded.
Yeah, see, this is fine. Like you were on the low ground lining up shots, they make the cross, then you take the high ground. It's fine.
Okay.
By the way, this is like the first time you've actually done a +1.
I know.
So this is good.
Which is that's literally when I play Mercy. That's what you are, right? You are a +1.
Yeah, exactly.
But on Kiriko, I don't apply that, and I should apply that more. Honestly,
you should, because you're the +1, but you yourself are actually like get to actually do things as well, right? So
right. It's double danger in the fact that I
Exactly.
can also be contributing to the damage, not just making
Right.
it
Exactly.
stronger.
Exactly.
So stupid.
No, it's are you so stupid?
Are you? The answer is
Common misunderstanding, but yeah.
I know.
So this is where your low ground positioning is stupid, right? So you should already be transitioning up to here and then wall climbing up here, because this is where like could cost you the duel, or could cost you your teleport, or could cost you your Suzu, right?
It does. I do have to teleport out actually, and then I take a purple right to the brain.
Right, exactly. So that's where you should have stayed high.
Okay. Yeah, I think something in my brain is like, I need to hold, because she can be so potent. But when I do play some Widowmaker, when I play Widowmaker, I move often, right? And
Right.
I don't just hold a spot because I can get shots there. And so
Exactly.
it's stupid to do that on Kiriko too. I don't know why I never noticed that I was doing that.
If you see this, by the way, this particular situation where you're honest, the +1 in the top, and you see your Ram by himself, you could go to your Ram and help this angle here, specifically because the Rhine is up here. The idea is that like you want to avoid the raw tank trade. So if the tanks are like kind of like ships in the night passing each other by, you could make a good argument for this is where you actually help your Ram and go kill squishes with your Ram, right? Now, actually, it turns out that your Ana drops and goes to help Ram, so then you need to stay here. But oh my days!
I know. Luckiest play of my life.
It's all right.
It worked out.
It's kind of funny though that it ends up turning out that the angle that actually matters is where you're not, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what I was saying when it came to the small detail with your positioning. All right, let's keep going here.
Yeah, this round is like unbelievably ugly.
Ooh, nice.
They're talking to each other. So I saw, I was like, oh, it's Tracer on point. I can be the one to touch because I can just climb back up to high ground. But I didn't even like touch. I don't know if I played this.
I mean, this positioning is good. I like the angle that you have. You're like kind of controlling a lot of space with it. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, there no complaints there. That was fine. Yeah,
that was a rough round.
It was fine. Let's actually take some notes, and then let's actually look at some Mercy if you like to. We have time.
Okay, I can.
All right, Kiriko, what do you got to practice?
Oh gosh, actually using my teleport ability. But I think the biggest thing is
why? How? Right?
I don't need to sacrifice myself to hold an angle that I find important. Because I get those cooldowns back quickly.
Right.
Suzu would be a little more careful with, but the Swift Step, like, it's basically Guardian Angel for Kiriko, but you're invisible and you can go through walls. And I use Guardian Angel like it's nothing. It's air.
Right.
But I think that also provides the pressure, because if I can hold that spot and then just leave, a lot of other people can't do that. So finding that pressure in areas other than just aggressive hold W.
Yes, it's the lack of finesse.
Right.
Anything else? It felt like that was everything tied into a nice, tidy little bow with you. Because I think
maybe just more creativity.
Yeah.
Which probably ties into the finesse. I don't really have. It's pretty straightforward for my Kiriko.
I think so.
So
I definitely think so. Yeah. I mean, you had. It's like I said, it was like you trying to apply pressure, but doing it in all the wrong ways. Because you didn't really understand like applying pressure, controlling angles, the +1 mindset. Not saying that you should never play with your tank, but you should play with your tank when the Ryan's controlling top and the Ram's by himself on card shooting a Cassidy. That's when like just think of it as like approach things with more finesse and more creativity. And I think some of the stars will start to align a little bit. Mechanics were fine. The Kitsunes were fine. The ability usage was fine. There were mistakes with them, of course, but I would prefer you to fix your ability usage by putting yourself in the right positions and then learning how to use your abilities from those positions.
Okay.
And I think like you'll trial and error a lot through that. But I think like Diamond Kiriko play.
Okay, that's good.
Definitely diamond. Yeah, definitely
I'm like,
diamond
there's
Kiriko play.
no way that I'm like in diamond with this playstyle. But I also need to give myself grace because I am trying things. And I
Yes,
feel obviously that's the most important part of getting
agreed.
better. Like if you just win all the time and you're really great, I would be in Overwatch League and I would
That's
like
my
be the most
problem, you know.
miserable person. Yeah. I'd be the most miserable person in the world because any significant loss or like a round loss would be like, this is the worst game in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I definitely need to give
No, you
myself a
played.
little
You
bit of
played. You
grace with
played
that.
fine. You played
Okay.
fine. You played fine. Now, obviously, I don't. One game is not an entire player, so
Right.
you maybe
And
that
I
was
have
maybe.
some bad ones, but I also have really good ones where I make less mistakes, but I feel like that's, I mean,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
ebb and
That's
flow of
normal.
Overwatch.
That's
Yeah.
normal. Okay. Mercy. Quick play. Mercy.
Yes, it is quick play.
Oh, wrong. Mercy.
I felt a little bit, I don't know if it's great, but I kind of felt like I had to not babysit in a bad way, but had to kind of babysit the Ana a few points because they had a
Okay.
Sombra.
Yeah.
I don't also know if I heal too much. I have had a VOD review by Neandra before.
Nice.
So I've had a little bit of like pinpointing the things that I do wrong from someone who's really, really good at Mercy.
Yep.
But I don't know if I'm handling the battlefield like correctly. I don't know if I'm healing too much, but I sometimes feel like I really push it on damage boost, and then I'm like, I'll deal with your healing after. Like we need to wrap this fight up, sort of thing. I obviously my aggression is in everywhere. Unfortunately, I have no aim, and I love playing Mercy, so I can't channel that aggression into Doomfist. But I just don't. We won this game, but the first round was like 99% to 100% capture point, so it was close. I just don't know if like I'm the reason we could have just like breezed through this or not.
Sure. I mean, the answer is always yes.
Yeah,
Think about it this way:
right.
if you put Neandra on Mercy here, how much easier would the game have been?
Oh yeah,
If
just
but if you put Dante and Doomfist, or if you put Seeker and Sojourner, or if you'd put Necros and Genji, like the answer is always that like yes, anybody at that point in time could have carried it. Maybe Mercy less so than others, but certainly.
Right. Okay.
I would avoid. This is one of the biggest mistakes I think Mercy players make, if not the biggest. It's the unnecessary GA. There's something about Mercy where it's like the need to move just is born into you, right? And it's my biggest complaint with Mercy's design actually is that you have such a low cooldown mobility that you're actually not encouraged to utilize. Not enough, certainly. So I understand why you're moving because you see your Genji take like 10 damage, but it's not enough to justify this. Because what ends up happening is you slingshot back, right? But then there's the situation here where like what happens if now your Genji needs support, or now you need your Sojourner needs support, or now your Doomfist needs support.
I have to wait a second.
Right, and you have to wait that full second, and that's the longest second there is in Overwatch, right?
Yeah, it is. I hesitate on her because I'm like, there's no way that Sombra's gone.
Yeah.
If I was playing Sombra, I would not leave. If I watched a Mercy leave an Ana, I would go to that Ana again.
One other detail as well, but an important one, is you need to stop healing your Ana right now.
Okay.
Once she's 2/3, 3/4 support passive, and she's not actively being shot, support passive Zen, Juno needs to be healed right now.
Yeah.
So that little extra beam here is really, really, really bad.
The hesitation. Okay.
Yeah. Let the support passive do the rest of it. That way you can actually go back in and do actual healing. I would definitely pistol that.
Yeah, I was like, I thought she was closer.
It was too slow. You should whip it out like right here. I think you actually hit her right there on the edge. Right there.
Yeah, almost.
That's all right.
If I didn't have the weapon switch animation, I would have hit her, but I think I was so worried about this Ana.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I think I stay with the squishies here. I definitely think I stay with the squishies on the. I mean they're nated, but I think this is where you go back for a defensive damage boost, and you didn't even know that they were nated, right? Good res. It's unfortunate. It's okay. It's unfortunate. I think maybe this is just where. Just do a quick periphery check first, then go for it.
Yeah.
That way you're able to keep your Genji up first, then res. So just because he needs like 20 healing and then he's good.
Yeah. There's at least 5 seconds left in that res, so I had all the time in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say super jump. Valk, yep.
Yeah, I panicked because she did her slide, and I was like, none of us are over there.
It was good though. Good. Good. Yeah, anytime you see an isolated support without a cooldown, use it. It's more value directly.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Because I was like, yeah, technically she died, but how am I gonna keep her up through a Winston? Oh, like I just need to kill these people, and then I have res.
Yeah.
I also purposely stole healing from Ana here because I would like to be 50% back to my ult when I just use it.
Yeah, she already has
great.
nano. Yeah.
So I kind of heal botted a little here when I maybe didn't need to. And then I have very sticky situation. Soldier ulting.
Yeah, good movement.
Okay.
I wouldn't bother with this, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And that point in time, it's like, it's because she's Valking, it's like, ugh, it's not going to happen. So at that point, just stay damage boosting here. Boosting here,
and
this aggression here. Yeah, clean up those kills.
Okay. I think I was like, oh, I don't want to lose point. Which is bronze mentality.
Maybe. I mean, that's honestly not the worst thing in the world. If that was your logic, sure. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was like, are you joking? I spent all that time.
That's also unfortunate. That is yeah, no comment on that one.
I have a reason. I knew we had Nano Blade.
Right.
Stupid reason, but I had one.
Well, my point is that given the status of the battlefield, I think you can have your cake and eat it too. I think you can pocket Genji, make him jump you, and then go for the res afterwards. Back. Right. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have primal to chase.
Yeah, it was just the like, oh, watch this.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Because I definitely, obviously, before I was a Mercy that did not wait. I was like, I gotta do it now. But it's like, no, there's so much time. And I tell other people all the time, like, you can wait until literally the last second. And sometimes I just don't.
Well, sometimes there's like weird indirect pressure with it as well, where like, because you don't res immediately, everybody's like thinking like either they ignore it and you get the res right away, or they're thinking about it and they're like, ah, crap, watch the res. I cannot tell you how many times I have to do that, where I was like, I can't even play the game because I have to sit there and watch res, right?
Yeah.
Right. Same. So it's like you could just sit there and make them like squirm. Good Valk.
Okay, I was a little concerned about this one.
Fight had obviously like seriously started, so it was good.
Okay.
Pocket here is good. Again, this is where like you need to see her in total Narnia at near to close to HP, and she doesn't need healing. Yeah. She's just doesn't need healing. The support passive is going to handle this. You need to keep the damage boost on your Sojourn.
Yeah. So Winston was gone. There was no reason. That's
exactly
true. I'm really sad about it. For Sojourn, I think she slid.
Oh no.
With the Winston boop, which is...
Yeah, that's just one of those situations where I just don't think the pistol is worth it because it's a bubble.
Okay.
Look at this Genji's positioning, right? Like, look at this Genji's positioning. I mean, that is the screaming damage boost right now.
Right.
And screaming beam.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's just a totally unnecessary pistol.
What am I doing?
Like the return on investment for your pistol is on isolated squishies, especially when you have Valk, right? That's like super valuable. But if those boxes aren't checked, it's just a waste of time.
No need for me to try and get rid of a shield.
Yeah. Right. Good. Just literally hits nothing.
Winston, like,
get out. Nice.
I went the wrong way. I should not have gone. I feel like I shouldn't have gone this way, or I should have just gone with his monkey punches.
Right. So you needed to go here and then cancel.
And then 2 Ana. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That's what I was thinking, and then I was like, well.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hopefully he doesn't do anything else with that primal.
Valk, yep. Don't know if you can keep him alive. Yeah, I don't think I bother there. I don't think I bother there.
Okay, just keep blue. I can do that.
keep blue and keep blue on these guys back
Someone
here.
else.
Or
Yeah,
this
he's
guy.
gone.
Or really, this is pistol time.
Okay. I had
You're
not
in
considered.
Valk. You're in
Weirdly.
Valk. There's a soldier right there. This is pistol time.
Okay.
You know? It's totally
Yeah.
naked.
Maze ending, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is Mercy aim. We don't need to talk about this. That's Mercy.
Yeah. I also don't know that I would move back here because I see Winston jumping in. He's low. I think I just super jump and I keep the beam here on damage boost, right? Just damage boost, break bubble, get in there. This guy's dead now. Like, there's actually no reason for this Ana to die. There's also no reason for this Winston to live as long as he had, right?
Okay.
So I don't see the reasoning behind the pistol as much here. I think missed opportunity to stay with the people that actually need the help.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
Not necessarily. I think my biggest question with that last part was it was like 99% to 99%. And so if I didn't stay on point and help people on point, is that my job, or is it better to try and top up the people on the side and try and kind of keep them up so then they can do point? Yeah,
I would say just prioritizing who can you help the most that's in combat. Right?
Okay.
Don't prioritize point over anywhere else. If the Winston's diving your backline, if you're able to help your backline live that and kill that quicker, then they'll be able to support point quicker.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
Whereas you turn around and you help the Doomfist, it's nothing inherently wrong with helping point there, but the problem is that helping Doomfist is not like where you're stellar.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So it's like if the tables had turned and the Honest Sojourn had been on point and the Doomfist had been off the point, then I would have said still stay with Honest Sojourn. No.
Okay.
It really had not. The point was kind of irrelevant, to be honest with you.
Okay,
it
it's
was
just
more of
levels
the
of
targets. It was
Got it.
exactly. It was the target, not the point.
Okay.
This is fine. I think this angle from him is really bad, but
Yeah, he went around, which I was like, okay, why did we
I'm not sure.
Where our team was.
I am not sure.
I went with him because I was like, well, we don't need 2 supports up here.
Yeah.
I can go with the flanker. I'm Mercy. I can fly if people need me.
Sure. I think
was like, okay.
the best thing they could have done is rocket jump up top here or run through here.
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, smart.
That would have taken forever, but yeah, you can do that. That at least makes sense.
Doable for sure. I find myself getting lost a little bit this round. I have a Valkyrie that's like applesauce. It's so stupid. I was like, am I on vacation? I'm sightseeing. Why did I do this?
Isn't it nice that they nerfed the reverse GA speed?
Yeah.
So that you have to do this freaking movement every single time you GA? Don't you just love that so much? I love this game.
I mean, at least it like adds to the vision of movement, I guess. I
Sure.
am moving. I am
That's true. You are
throwing
moving.
myself around.
Yeah.
This Kiriko's nuts. She looked at me. I was like, I would have literally died to kill that Mercy.
I also think you're a little bit nuts here. And the reason why is because your soldiers like legit in the middle of fighting people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like this is not a moment of stabilization. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is that was not the res.
And she dies.
Right, which is like whatever. Like hindsight, you couldn't know that she could have slept and the Roadhog and lived. But like for me, it's more about like I freaking hate the reses when you're in the middle of combat, right? When they're like there's no lull, right? So it's like basically at best it's a 1-for-1. Like your soldier should have died there, right? And I would rather have my soldier with that ultimate on that angle than have to get the Ana, because you can always get the Ana a little bit later. Like maybe the soldier stabilizes. Remember the Genji earlier, right? The previous run,
Right.
where it's like you go for this and then the Genji ends up dying, but you could have had both.
Right. And if I don't get her, she's already back by the time the next fight happens.
Right, pretty much.
The worst Valkyrie. ever done in the history of Overwatch.
Yeah, I think you just lost your Sojourn.
There's. I was like, why did I just go hide the enemy?
The timing was fine, but the placement was strange, to say the least. Here. Nice.
I'm basically like, you give me ult charge.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do nothing, I might as well do something.
That's a great quote.
I had the idea. It was there.
Nice. That was good. That was very impressive.
He's used hook. He can't hook me into it, so he's just gonna have to push me away from it.
You know what I realized? Nepal village is like Samoa village. Is it village? I think it's village, right?
Is it?
I think it's village.
It is a village, though.
Yeah, where it's like there's these huge chunks of the map that nobody freaking uses. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this one big clump, and then all these like cool, like nobody uses that except the Samoa village. It's even bigger. There's even less that gets used. It's actually criminal. It's like
wide open.
All this map that nobody ever like explores at all.
Yeah,
seems so sad. Okay, this is where you need to embrace your Mercy main just a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
This is where you're too ADHD. You know, I think where it's like you just want to make that beam swap a lot. Like I get it. Like it's again, the worst part about Mercy hero design is that it doesn't reward you for swapping your beams. It doesn't reward you for moving. Mm-hmm. But you cannot tell me that this person does not need your beam and does not deserve to keep your beam on it, right? I think it's just like in your attempt to like try and do more with Mercy, you're ironically doing less.
Right. And I tell my duo all the time, like supports don't have to do everything. I know low-level people think supports have to do everything. They have to clean up messes. They have to stop the messes from happening. Like, they have to do everything. And I think there's still a part of my brain that's like, Doomfist needs help. And it's like, does he? He does. Is he being hooked? No.
Right.
Like, Sojourn's being hooked, you know?
Right, exactly.
Get that out of my head.
To be fair, the Doomfist was doing something, but the Sojourn was also doing something, and Mercy better at helping Sojourn than helping Doom.
His, like, kick damage is not going to be helped by my blue
pretty
beam,
much,
so I might
pretty
as well
much.
Put it on someone who
right,
can
right, and that swap to heal when that person gets low. That what is it? 50 healing, 55 healing, whatever. It's a lot more for a target of 200 HP than for 450. So it's just like the return on investment. It's just better to stick with a squishy. Now, obviously, that's where like if the squishy's playing passively, the tank is not, or the squishy backs up and then the soldier walks forward. That's when you need a little ADHD. But I do think that sometimes you're swapping targets or moving around just for the sake of doing it. And not because it makes any logical sense.
Yeah, I get too far away and I lose beam.
Like that kind of makes sense. But that kind of makes sense there, right? So you go from Sojourn to Soldier the second he gets hooked, right? That's logical, right? That's the kind of swappity swap that actually makes sense. Again, you need to break this habit with this support passive.
Yeah, I know.
Like maybe a tiny bit, but certainly like just literally tap her for 30 healing, then go back.
Right.
Like let the support passive do what it's supposed to do. Good Valk.
And then I think we just win from this.
Yeah. But you see it again, ADHD, right? Don't damage boost your Sojourn. He's standing out in the open. Like first off, she needs help, but also what your Doomfist is fine. Like he's not crit. Like let the damage die. And Hog will die, exactly. So it's like, I mean, that pistol was actually fine, but yeah. Okay, let's make some notes then. Mercy. Okay. What do you got to practice?
Better target prioritization in the sense of ally target prioritization. Also remembering that the support passive exists. Obviously, I played a lot of Mercy, so she already had it. But I have to remember that everyone kind of has it, or every support. A little bit of not trying to do everything. She's a lot easier to do everything on, but she has her strengths.
Yeah.
And I need to focus on what those strengths are instead of trying to, throw myself to a bunch of different corners and be everything for everyone. Just focus more on actually thinking about the reses, and if I can wait for the timer to go all the way down, like that's better to do than just trying to rush it. If I have to rush it,
Mm-hmm.
fine. Like sometimes you have to feel out a situation,
Yep.
but um, maybe also just like better understanding of when a fight is lost.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's one of those. I think that could probably be applied to any of my characters across any role, in general.
Check this point out.
But
Get your pistol point.
yeah.
I actually think that
Sometimes I
there was
do.
like at least two missed opportunities with pistol.
Okay, yeah, that soldier in Blizzard.
And then coincidentally, also 2 times where I think you pulled out pistol when you shouldn't have.
Right.
Like shooting a Winston bubble or shooting the May, I think were the
Right.
times. So, but yeah, I think like it's definitely a tool that you can use. Your aim is good enough to utilize it. So do it, but just understand like the timings of when it actually makes sense. Right? Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay. I don't think so. It's given me a lot to be able to go and put into practice. I'll probably have more the next coaching session. So